Hello for the Christmas Mass. The Christmas Mass. And I'm using the readings from the Midnight Mass, which is Isaiah 9, 1 to 6, and Luke 2, verses 1 to 14. This is a little bit different, huh? I got out of my bedroom. For the last 7 years, I've been doing these YouTube homilies in my bedroom with something behind me. But here is, I'm in my TV room where my crib set is set up. And I thought I'd do that for the Christmas Mass and maybe the Sunday after, and so forth. And it might be a little bit longer because it's crazy. I call this not celebrating the baby Jesus, but the cosmic Jesus or the universal Jesus. But I like the cosmic Jesus. You know, for the last 800 years, through the influence of St. Francis Assisi, and he was born in 1182 and died in 1226. And he was the one who made this Christmas scene. The little statues of Jesus and Mary and Joseph and the camels and the ox and the ass, and the shepherds and the sheep and so forth. And he celebrated Christmas, the baby Jesus' birthday. And so for 800 years, since the time of St. Francis, it has taken an imprint or made an imprint into the world in celebrating the birthday of Jesus Christ. And rightly so, it's a great season, and it has become the sort of the most important celebration of Jesus Christ, which is not true, but for the first 1200 years since Jesus Christ, the most important thing was the resurrection of Jesus Christ, the suffering, the death, and the resurrection of Jesus Christ. And that was because both of these, the birth of Christ and the death and resurrection of Christ, really theologically has to do with the Incarnation. It's a theological term, and it simply means that God takes on flesh. The God comes into the creation. Jesus Christ, the second person of the Holy Trinity, who is God, takes on flesh in the womb of the Blessed Virgin Mary. And he's totally human, so he's a baby boy. He was an adolescent at 12 in the temple. He was a young man and suffered terribly in the Garden of Gethsemane and on the cross, the crucifixion of thorns, crucifixion of the cross. And he died and he rose again, and he became still human and still God. And then he left again, and he says, I'm coming back again. And that is called the Incarnation. But when Jesus was a little baby, I call it, that's the second incarnation. There is a first incarnation much, much farther back in the history of humankind. And that is God creating the heavens and the earth. And God said to let it be, and it was. And God did not just create little babies or young men and women or, animals and fruit trees and sunsets and moon and stars and galaxy and galaxy and galaxy. He didn't just do that. Out of nothing, he created everything. But he stayed in it. Like second person of the Blessed Trinity went into and cooperated with Mary, and he stayed in the womb of Mary for 9 months. Well, this God didn't go back into some black hole and be aloof from it, but he stayed in it. And that's the first incarnation. And then when he created man and a woman, God created it good in his own image and likeness. So if we want to find God, first of all, and earliest in all, we'll go look at a sunset. Go look at a summer moon, full moon in the middle of the summer on a warm evening with a clear sky. Go look at a little newborn baby. Go look at the beautiful body of a woman and the beautiful body of a man. And you'll see the likeness and the goodness of God. First incarnation. But just go look at we're celebrating the coming of Jesus Christ in Advent, right? We already came. We're really celebrating the cosmic Jesus. The Jesus who is the Son of God, who became a human being and put a whole new dignity into the dignity that God made in the very beginning in the first incarnation and was in, but then we messed it up. Evil came, and it wasn't God's fault, it's our fault. And he came the second time. That's the second incarnation. And he's going to come again at the end of time. But so during Lent, we're not waiting for this little Jesus to come and be born in that cave or in that stable in Bethlehem. We're just waiting we're getting ready for Christmas. And there's 4 weeks. That's what we're waiting for, the celebration of the birthday. But that was 2,000 years ago, the birthday. And it was so important and so wonderful, and we still celebrate it. I only have a few birthdays to celebrate. A few? How about 82? How many birthdays do you have to celebrate? Well, we're still celebrating for the last 800 years very much the birthday of the cosmic Jesus Christ, the universal Messiah. But think of the whole. We're not waiting for this to happen again. If we're waiting for anything, it's the second coming. And we celebrate the resurrection. And we celebrate the birth of Christ. And we celebrate creation of everything that is, that God created out of nothing. So I just think it's interesting. It's more interesting for me to look at this Jesus, this baby of Bethlehem, who was 200 years, 2,000 years ago, and to look at him that he's God, always was God. And God sent his son, Jesus, in that second incarnation. And that Jesus, when Jesus touched and became part of an embryo through the power of the Holy Spirit with a woman called Mary, the Virgin, when that touch came onto planet Earth, all of Earth has a new dignity and is holy and pleasing to God. All of Earth, even more so than the first creation before the fall. So it's all in the history of salvation and the history of creation. And it's bigger than we think. It's bigger than we know. And it's deeper than we know. But we do know, and we do celebrate 2 very, very important feast days. And one, and really the most, is the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who brought us back. But probably the second most important, but maybe not the most celebration, is Christmas. But folks, think of the whole, the cosmic Jesus. I think that is bigger, better, deeper, and more exciting than just the little baby Jesus. But at any rate, celebrate it. It's super. It's great. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas. Enjoy the depths of it all. God became a part of us. God was incarnate. And this is his celebrated birthday. Merry Christmas.